Hello and welcome to MLS Ireland. Well, I'll be bringing to you my predictions for week 11. Yes, we are in week 11 now and the games are coming quick and fast, so stay tuned. Perfect, thank you very much. My name is Sean, and if you're new to this channel thing, whatever the hell it is, hit that subscribe button. I'm currently on 191, which is pretty impressive for the amount of excellence, I shall say, that I give out into the world of my predictions of MLS games, fixtures, results, and all that kind of stuff. I started off quite well last week, then it kind of went all over the place. When you think about it, like FC Cincinnati won, which was quite surprising. They won their 2 games in a row to beat Toronto and beat Chicago Fire. When you think about it, it's not that really all that exciting. But then fucking Philadelphia drew 2-2, or was it 2-2? Yeah, 3-3 against Chicago Fire, which is a pretty poor result in that, which I didn't really expect to happen. I would have thought they would have won. But I got a couple incorrect and I got quite a lot correct. So I may as well kick on because there's quite a few games then on Thursday. There's a game on Thursday night, there's a game on Friday night, there's a whole pile of games Saturdays and Sundays, and then there's ones back on again on fucking Thursdays. So fun. So first of all, it is Austin against Portland Timbers. So obviously Portland Timbers, who I think they lost their last game, and no, they drew. Not the lost against Minnesota 1-0. I think I kind of predicted Minnesota probably to win that one. I can't remember, a long time ago. Against Austin, who have played 2 games now at home. They drew their 2 games, which it's not too bad when you all things considered. They drew with Columbus and they drew with San Jose, so it's not too bad. They're coming up against the Portland Timbers team, who again, they're all over the place in the moment. You can't really predict that they're going to do. This is the fun things of MLS. And when you're sitting going, yep. It's pretty hard to predict all this kind of stuff. Even though that, yeah, it's pretty hard to predict. So yeah, saying that, I kind of went for like a Austin FC 1-0 win. Just for the fact is that home against a Portland Timbers team who doesn't really, aren't very confident, aren't very consistent, and they're just not. With all that kind of distance and the temperature, and well, no, they're playing actually in the same kind of temperature now, probably at the moment. They're actually probably going into somewhere colder. But again, I think Austin, in front of their fans, I think they're actually going to get this one across the line, probably with a 1-0 win. I do think they probably will get the win in this one. Portland Timbers are not very good away from home. I only think they've won the 1 game away, and the rest they've probably drew 1, and then they've lost the last 3. So it's not really, or 3 or 4, so it's not really good for them. Next one is Columbus Crew against New England Revolution. New England Revolution, who lost. Yes, I predicted them to win, to beat FC Dallas, and they got beat by FC Dallas. Now they're taking on the Columbus Crew team, who they already played and beat 1-0 already on the 16th of May. So they're coming up against, whereas Columbus Crew are 10th in the league, and they drew against Austin, as I was saying, and got beat by Philadelphia, and then beat Chicago, Toronto, and all that kind of stuff. They're coming up, as I said, coming into this game. I think this will be a tight game. It's going to be on TV. A lot of games here are going to be on TV. If you follow me on Twitter at MLS Watch, I put up a wee post, pin it on my Twitter page, and you can see all the games that are actually showing here. If you're from around this area, Ireland, UK, wherever, Ireland, Britain, take a wee look, and you'll probably get a good look at it. So yeah, Columbus Crew coming up against the New England team, who were probably shocked to lose that game. Well, I'll say a lot of people were shocked. But I think they may come back into this one against the Columbus Crew team. But I think it's going to be like a 2-2 draw. I think Columbus Crew are just probably not that bad to lose and are not that good to win. And I think New England are just going to try and, just regain confidence again and get a draw and probably win it back that way. The next one is DC United against Toronto. DC United at home are coming up against a Toronto team who are second from bottom, and they've only won the 1 game. They drew 2, and they've lost the last 4, so not good. They're coming up against the DC United team, who are actually not doing too bad, and all things considered. They've, out of the last 6, they've won 2 games, and that was both against Inter Miami. And then they got beat by New York City FC, which I think I predicted correct. So they're coming up against the Toronto team, who I do think they could beat, because Toronto team are awful at the moment. They got beat by Cincinnati. So yeah, I went for a 2-1 win to DC United, just for the fact that Toronto are, what's the word? Bad. Yeah, I'll go with bad. Watch them win. The next one is Orlando against, no, sorry, FC Montreal against Inter Miami. Inter Miami fans are loving them at the moment, loving all life at the moment, and they've only won the 2 games, which is not too bad, I suppose, for a team who spent a lot of money. They're coming up against a Montreal team who have not spent a lot of money, who are 15th in the league. So when you think about it, Montreal coming up against Inter Miami, the game's going to be probably like a home game for Inter, but there's going to be no fans in the stadium because Montreal aren't allowed to. Teams are not allowed to travel into Canada. So all the teams basically stuck in Florida. Lovely for them. So yeah, I actually went for like a 1-1 draw. I'm not 100% sure if Higuain's fit. If he is probably the main nick a win in this one, but I just don't think there's confidence is very low in probably both camps. So I think Montreal is capable of not. They'll can't lose this one, but I would suspect it with not really many firepowers. They only keep scoring like 1 goal. And the last time they played Inter Miami, they won 2-0, and that was the last time they scored 2 goals in the game. So yeah, I'm going to go for like a 1-1 draw on that one. The next one is Orlando against New York Red Bull. New York Red Bulls are actually not doing too bad. They're 14th in the league. When at the start of the season, I didn't expect them to be really there. Well, I wanted them to be up higher, but new manager and all that stuff. They're coming up against an Orlando team who are probably not too bad. They're one of the informed teams at the moment. They've won. They got beaten by New York Red Bull 2-1 already this season on the 29th of May. That was away at home, and then they're coming up against them at home this time. So, and they've out of the last 6 games, that was the only game that they lost. As for New York Red Bull, they've only won 2 games in the last 6 games. So coming into this one, I think Orlando is probably in the best form. So I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win. It's probably going to suit Orlando this game a wee bit more, probably in front of their fans. I don't think New York Red Bulls are probably going to press as much as you would hope for them to do. But I can't see them really winning this one. So yeah, I'm going for like a 2-1 win. Okay, perfect. And the next one is Atlanta versus Chicago Fire. Okay, hence everything's a bit different. I forgot to do them. I was halfway doing the editing, and then I completely realized that I forgot to do them. So this is my predictions. I went with Chicago Fire actually doing all right so far in the season, where Atlanta are kind of drawing their kind of games. I went for like a 1-1 draw. I think Atlanta have the capability of winning, but I'm not 100% sure when Joseph Martinez is back yet. But Chicago Fire are not a bad team, but like I said, they're a very strange team. So I kind of went for like a 1-1 draw, and sorry I forgot about them, but back. The next one is Minnesota against San Jose. Minnesota, who won 1-0 last week, probably won, and they won 2-0 against Austin the week before that, which is not a bad result. And they're coming up against the San Jose Earthquakes team, who are in the last 6, the best result they have was against Austin, and that was a 0-0. So not great. Saying that, I think a Minnesota game, I think they could probably win this one 1-0, just for the fact is they have a better defense, and I probably think they're at home. They're probably going to grind out this game to just get that 1-0 win like they did last week. So yeah, 1-0 won to Minnesota. Next one is Nashville against Philadelphia. Nashville, who are, I think they finally lost a game or 2. They got beat a couple of weeks ago against who was it again? New York Red Bulls. I think they still New York Red Bulls, yeah, 2-0. And then they drew with Montreal and beat Toronto. So they are capable of winning those games, but I think this game could be. They're a very good defensive team, but I think with Philadelphia coming and probably not are. I'm not going to say surprisingly at this moment, but I think they kind of take their foot off the pedal when they're coming into games that they think they can win. And I think this is a game that they actually could think they can win quite easily, but won't. So I went for like a 1-1 draw. I just think for the fact is their head's not really in it at the moment. They're kind of like the French team, where they think they have a 1, they'll go in, and Nashville will probably score first, sit in defense, and then Philadelphia could probably get one near the end. But for the fact is, for Philadelphia can't really defend cross-ins and cross balls and kind of stuff like that, which is probably Nashville's best hope of scoring. I said a lot there. The next one is Houston Dynamo against FC Cincinnati. That's a lot of words. Coming up, FC Cincinnati are actually not doing too bad. They've won their last 2 games, both away from home, and now they're going to be away at home again against Houston Dynamo, who are, let me see where Houston are. They are 11th, which isn't too so bad. They drew the last 3 games against Real Salt Lake, Portland, and LAFC, and then got beat by Houston. Beat Vancouver, and then got beaten by Colorado Rapids. I kind of went for like a 2-1 win for Houston. I think this is probably going to be one kind of outside where NFC Cincinnati could probably win. But they can. Back in my mind, I think this could be a possible draw. But I think coming into this game, Houston Dynamo probably can't have the ability to score these goals, and where I don't think Cincinnati have the capability of keeping them out. They have the capability of scoring, but I think this game is just probably going to get a wee bit too frantic. It's going to be a wee bit too back and forward for them, and that's where I think Houston probably going to take the edge in this one. The next one is Real Salt Lake against LAFC. I went for a 2-1 win for Real Salt Lake. LAFC isn't really giving me much of an impression that they could actually do well this season. They got beaten by Sporting Kansas City, obviously, those guys. They're coming up against a Real Salt Lake team who have only won the 1 game in the last 6. That was against Vancouver. They narrowly got beaten by Seattle, which wasn't a bad result, and they're not doing too badly. So I went for like a 2-1 win. I don't see LAFC probably doing well this season, and it's kind of a shame. But those are the breaks. The next one is FC Dallas against Vancouver Whitecaps. Vancouver Whitecaps drew against Philadelphia, which was really annoying because that really they drew against Seattle, which really fucked up a lot of stuff of mine. And yep, they're coming up against probably a good FC Dallas team who have won their last game, but that was the first game in 6 that they won, and that was against New England. So coming into this, I think Vancouver could possibly neck this one. Vancouver, I went for a 2-1 win for Vancouver to win this one, just for the fact is they could be surprising at this moment. I think Dallas at home, aren't all going to be really up for it at the moment. I know they beat New England, but the last games they haven't really beaten people below them. They can possibly beat people above them. So that's my thinking coming into this one. So yeah, I went for like a 2-1 win. Next one is Colorado against Seattle. Seattle, I kind of went for Seattle should be quite easy and comfortable coming into this one, even though Colorado Rapids have only lost 2 in the last 6 and then won the rest. And now lost came against Sporting Kansas City and LAFC. So it's they're not massive losses. So yeah, I went for a 3-1 win to Seattle, just for the fact that Seattle are probably the better team and are capable of scoring a hell of a lot of goals, and probably going on to win the MLS. Well, definitely the Supporters' Shield. I can't really see anybody else really catching them at the moment. And the last one is LA Galaxy against Sporting Kansas City, which LA Galaxy is possibly, and New England, I would suggest probably Sporting Kansas City the odd time, are probably the only 2 teams capable of catching Seattle. I just think Seattle are just a far better team. But anyway, this is about LA Galaxy and Sporting Kansas City. I went for a 2-0 win to LA Galaxy, just for the fact is they are at home. Sporting Kansas City, I haven't got to see too much of them this season, which is a bit of a shame because they never really, if they're on TV here, they're on very late, and I would love to get a good watch of them. So they're coming up against a LA Galaxy team who has Hernandez firing goals in for them at the moment, so that's why I went for a 2-0 win. Just LA Galaxy are actually looking quite well this season. They probably could be like a 2-1 win, but I went for a 2-0 win just for the fact is LA Galaxy are good. They're getting better, and yeah, 2-0. I'm going to stick with that one. And yep, that is my predictions. I hope you enjoyed them. If you think of any predictions that you want to put into the chat, sure, put them in the comments below. Sure, like, share, whatever the hell that crap is. And I hope to see you on the next one. Toodles. Bye.